Hello, this is Dan, the furniture repairman. Today we're going to do a short demonstration on a faux mahogany finish on a small piece I'm doing for a customer. This is a small sewing table. The sides and the body were red mahogany. The top was a much lighter color wood, and so were the draw faces. Here you can see the color that the top and the draw faces were, much lighter. I have it off the piece right now, and I'm using Mohawk Blendal powders. I like these for touch-ups. I like these for a lot of applications. I use denatured alcohol when I apply them, and then I put sealer and then varnish over the top of them, and that locks them in place. But you can use a graining fluid that they sell. You can use French polish. You can use shellac. You can use a combination of a few things, and it all works well. I like using the denatured alcohol because it dries and leaves the powder behind, and then I can either push the powder off or I can move it around very easily because it's not locked in place by a varnish. I'm using two colors. I'm using a red and a brownish red here to create this sort of look. Now, because it's a grain I'm mimicking, I'm not going to color it solid. I need to leave some of the light shining through. And in the end, what I'm going to do is apply a tinted varnish over the top of it. That's going to pull everything together and make it look as close as it can look to wood. It tends to work very well. Somebody like me would look at it and tell you that it's a faux finish, but most people would look at it and think, oh, it's just grain. And it depends on the type of grain you like. My customers really wanted the top of this guy to pop, so I let the grain be very wide and wild on there, and they seemed to appreciate it when they looked at it when it was complete. So I'm using a fan brush, which tends to leave streaks and lines. I'm not working in a straight line. I'm tending to make a little bit of an arc and a curve here and there, stopping and starting because it's not supposed to look perfect. And if it looks too even, then it's not going to look like wood. So I'm going to come across it. I'm going to brush in my reds and then I'm going to add my browns on top. Then at the end of it all, what I'm going to do is put a little coat of sealer on there to lock it all in place. And if I'm happy with the way it looks with the sealer on it, then I'm going to go ahead and add my tinted varnish on top. And one application or two, depending on how much tint I want to put on there, should get me to the point where it'll pass when people look at it and think it's actually a wood species. A good craftsman will look at it and know that that's not the grain of a mahogany, but somebody just looking at it would just see red and they would see what looked like wood to them, and they would say, "Oh, okay." Now, in the past, what I have done is put down a piece of tape and run all my faux treatment right up to the tape, and then seal it and tint it, and then pull up the tape and do the other side of it, and it actually creates the look of two different boards that are glued together. So there's a lot of different techniques you can use to make this work, and sometimes you don't have much choice if you have wood that you can't replace or that you have to fill in large areas with filler or something like that, and you just got to kind of get it to match. So here you can see me coming back just quickly, and this is not sped up. This is just the speed I'm working at. And I'm coming back with my browns, and I started with my reds, and then I'm going to come back with a little bit of just plain clean denatured on the brush. You see me just denatured, and then I'm going to just kind of use it to move my pieces around, and I'm just going right by eye here. And sometimes I'm just using the one edge of the brush to add in color. Sometimes I'm using the other, and it's just an eyeball sort of thing. When I'm done, I'm going to look at it. If it looks good, I'm going to go ahead and spray my sealer on it, and I'll be okay. If it doesn't look good, I'm probably going to just take some clean denatured, wipe it all off, and go again very easily. So it may take me sometimes two or three tries if I'm not quite happy with what it looks like. So here you can see it's already been sealed, and here I come on it with my red tinted lacquer on top of it. And here I think we're using a satin lacquer, and that's kind of what we're looking at right there. And that looks very different than what we started with. So we can see some grain lines in there, and this is the underside, so we're not making it as wild as the rest of it. And I think I went one more time with a little bit of less lacquer on top of it to add just a little bit of color here and there. This is the way I did the mahogany today. I've done it different ways in the past. I'm sure the next time I do it, it's going to be a little different also. It's a little bit like jazz, some of this stuff I do. Every time I do it, I kind of look at what I got to do, and I go with where I got to go with it. Here's a picture of the Mohawk Blendal Powders. Now, I'm putting up a picture of black because that's the stock picture I could get from the Mohawk company. But they have 20, 30 different colors. You can look through the website and see what colors you want to get for yourself. We get our Mohawk products from Wood Repair Products in Orange, California. We're going to put a link to their website. You can go online, they'll get things shipped right out to you. You can also give them a call. They are very helpful. I'm going to put up next the toner can. Now, the toner I think shows walnut, but what I use is a mahogany. So you don't have to have such a huge setup to achieve this. You can get a rattle can of sealer and a rattle can of varnish and a rattle can of toner and a couple of powders and basically do this in your garage for under $40. You really don't need tons and tons of equipment to achieve something like this. It may take you 3 or 4 tries, but the nice thing is, you practice on some boards before you go do the important piece. And if you get it wrong, the important piece, well, you take it back off and you go again. Thanks so much for watching. You have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you. Please remember to like and subscribe, all that stuff. You can check us out on our website, danthefurniturerepairman.com.